All right, we are back once again with a back test for the month of July performance. And of course, I want to continue to remind everybody that you can find all of these signals, all of these channels in our database, multiple.ai. For now, it's 70% off if you use the code launch70 at checkout. Because at the moment it's only a database of channels that we backtest. As we roll out some of the new features, we're going to be actually adding data extraction tools. We're going to be automating backtesting processes so you can basically go in and self-serve, right? Pick the channels that you want to backtest, pull the data, run the test, and then it will show up in the database. So once that feature set is added, then the pricing goes to full price. So yeah, so for now you can basically get it for about $45 for 3 months, which is about what, $15 a month. So it'll help you avoid wasting money on channels that don't provide any return, right? So we do have some channels that are profitable, that show long-term profitability. Some of them we were surprised by, but they are consistently profitable. So having said that, let's take a look at the channel that we're going to be testing today. This one is called Superlative Sure Profits. And I think that this is part of, there's a cluster of channels that we think are affiliated with each other because they use a lot of the same language. This one right here, keep your investment coming, buddies, which is just the weirdest way to say. Like, it just says to me that somebody doesn't speak English as a first language. You would never say that. So we can't tell. For a while I thought that these guys, like these clusters of channels, were based out of Dubai. I've started to think that maybe they're actually out of Malaysia. Their format kind of sucks in my opinion because it shifts a lot and they do these weird things. Like this here isn't bad. This is pretty easy to work with a copier, although I don't, this is kind of BS. Let's see if I can find one. They do these things where they will put the entry price as like the full price, and then they'll put a slash with like 2 digits behind it, and that just screws everything up. Like it's almost impossible for a copier to recognize that entry price. So and then things like this where it's obvious their format changes, and it's obvious that they're probably copying from somewhere. That's my guess. So having said that, let's we can go ahead and take a look at the test results. And it's, I don't know, it's funny because we get emails or comments or questions from people asking like, how do I know this channel isn't a scam channel? And the answer is kind of like, well, I guess it depends on what you mean by scam channel. If you were thinking of sending them money to invest for you, don't do that. Right? You just treat every channel as a scam channel if that's what you were thinking of doing. But are their trades actually profitable over the long term? Well, that's a whole other question, right? So just don't send anybody money. I can't believe I have to say that, but we've had people actually send money to some of these channels. So don't send money, and then test the signals. Are the signals profitable? So it's kind of like two separate sets of criteria. Anyway, if this is your first time watching, we run the same test every time. We start with a $10,000 account. We do 0.1 size lots, and we don't do any kind of special, like trailing stop loss or anything like that. We just want to see how the signals do by themselves, right? So no attempt to curve fit, no attempt to squeeze out profitability somehow. We want it to be easy for a user to follow if the channel proves to be profitable, right? So yeah, this channel lost $5 for the month of July, which I guess could be worse, could be better, could be worse. Here's our equity curve, right? You can see we had a pretty steady march down to really about the 9,700 mark, and then we recovered. We were in profit for about $200 and then closed out the month $5 in the hole. Here's our entries by hours. You can see there's a bit of Asia, not a whole lot of Europe right now for this particular channel, and then a lot of US session. Statistical scattering of wins versus losses. Here's our average holding times for this particular channel. And then I think these guys trade a lot of gold, but they also trade some currencies, and they trade oil and some indexes. So yeah, there you have it. Superlative, whatever. What are they called? Superlative sure profits. So yeah, thanks for watching.